And it looks like we are live, so I am going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. That's right, I'm back and I'm off my meds. It was only 1 week away because I was way too fucking sick. Yeah, shut up. I was way too ill to do anything. I couldn't even talk on that day specifically. Ended up writing a bunch of scripts. I say a bunch. I wrote 2 scripts instead of writing and recording as I normally would. So last week was proper weird. But yeah, I'm not as sick, he says, as his voice cracks and breaks. I'm not as unwell as I had been. Cheers to all lovers of mayonnaise jello salad. Thank you so much. I definitely didn't need to think of something that would make me want to vomit. That's helpful. But yeah.
Yeah, you fucked up the title.
How did I fuck up the title?
It's not Proceeds. It's Precedes.
I don't know how to spell. You already knew this about me. I'm probably a bit dyslexic. How do you spell the thing?
Oh my god. P-R-E.
She doesn't even know.
P-R-E.
Precedes.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix it. Shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna fix it. Precedes. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You should have assumed if there was more than one spelling or if it was an alternate.
I assumed you knew how to spell it. That's why I didn't even bother looking at the title.
No. How has no one figured this out? But the amount of oh, so sick. You spelled a thing wrong. It's like, yeah, of course I did. The worst part is, for some fucking reason, YouTube's
No, you spelled it wrong again.
You didn't even finish.
I didn't finish. You just went, yeah, proceeds, yeah.
Okay.
You just ignored it, and I just, again, assumed you
Okay.
knew how to spell it.
Shut up. Say words. Pre what? It's actually letting me...
Pre-cum. Oh my god.
Is it Precedes?
P-R-E...
Yeah.
C-E-D...
Yeah.
E-S.
Yeah. Precedes. Fucking hell, it wasn't even important. It's just a stupid title. Anyway. Pre-cum. Prosecco. Fair enough.
Oh God,
Agnostic,
dude.
dyslexic, insomniac, stay up all night wondering if there is or is not a dog. I mean, that is close to a description of myself. I don't worry about God. I worry about, am I going to die of a meteor in my bed?
A while ago, he asked me because I'm reading philosophy books, he asked me for philosophical titles that he could add stupid to or dumb to.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to find new titles.
Today
They weren't supposed to know this.
Yeah, so...
She wasn't supposed to say these words that she's currently saying.
So, yeah, but it was really annoying that you spelt it wrong. Because you could just Google it to make sure you spelt it right.
I don't care. Language should serve me. That's it. Okay. That's how this works. I was going to say...
Precipitation.
YouTube titles, for some fucking reason, they don't seem to do the squiggly line. So the amount of times I'll just write something stupid and it'll be wrong. Also, there is no spell checker in Photoshop, as far as I can tell. Not one that comes up automatically.
No, there isn't, no.
So, oh my god, the amount of thumbnails I have fucking misspelt in is ridiculous. I am not good at doing spelling. Because apparently, there are absolute head cases out there, Mrs. Sick being one of them, who just knows how a word is spelt without having to like really think about it. Yeah, I had to learn the spellings of
but
words.
When it comes to maths, I'm fucking horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The other day, I did some quick maths. And like, I was in a shop with people who all day have to figure out the costs of things. And they went, oh yeah, it costs... I traded something in, and they went, oh, you get this much money for the thing you traded in, and the thing you want costs a little bit more than that. And I went, yeah, that's blah, blah, blah. And they were like, I was quick maths. I was like, I don't consider myself that good at maths. Certainly not to the high degree. but apparently I'm quite quick at basic arithmetic. Don't know why. I always thought it was really difficult at school as well. It's like a pain in the ass. Although I am one of those people at the same time. You know when they told you, show you're working out? And I'm like, but I didn't. I just knew that number and that number made this number. I didn't do any maths on it. There should definitely be a way that is made for. One of the kids is actually just like that.
Oh yeah, she's so fast at doing it.
You show her a sum, and she'll tell you the answer, and then you say, well, explain your calculation. And she didn't make a calculation. So I explained to her, which was never explained to me, just do the calculation, pretend that you didn't know it immediately, and work it out as if you don't know the answer already. Because they just want that. That's what they want. They won't shut the fuck up about it. That's it. Recently discovered your anti-vaxxer videos. Holy shit, the sheer stupidity and lack of empathy some people exhibit blows my mind. I need to do that. I stopped doing anti-vaxxer videos because they would so fucking badly underperform, like to a ridiculous degree. But I wouldn't say I liked doing them. Anti-vaxxers are an incredibly annoying set of people. I think the fact that they were just so much of a pain in the ass to deal with, and also like no one wanted to watch it, that it just made it so I just didn't bother. But I probably should do more. I need to find like a really fucking right nut job who's like hilariously stupid about fucking anti-vax. Let's sing about homophones. No.
Homophones.
You're a homophone. So, Rosanna, they prefer gay. Okay. In the words of Tom Lear, the important thing is to understand what you are doing rather than to get the right answer. I guess, but it's hard to explain to a small child who just knows the answer off the top of their head and doesn't have, like, you literally don't have to calculate it. If your brain is good at arithmetic, you don't have to figure it out. There is no working out. Your brain has already done it. And that's really annoying. And at least when I was a kid, they didn't explain. They just said, show you working out. I said, but I didn't do any working out. Show you working out. But I didn't. What is not fucking getting through to you? I think it's mostly because teachers are fucking stupid sometimes. Not all of them, but oof. I refused to show my work in maths class. I had to take an equivalent test in front of the principal and my parents because I didn't show my working out and thought I cheated.
Wow.
That's the thing, though. It's like, oh, did you do his calculator? Although, that comes to the everyone's favourite point, especially if you're sort of in the Gen X millennial bit of life. People telling you, well, you can't use a calculator. You won't have a calculator on you all the time. Fuck you. Plus, not even that hard to have a calculator on you. Plus, some people had fucking watch calculators, which were the sickest thing in the universe. Sick, you are a glitch in the system. A glitch the system is afraid of. I mean, I think that's what flat earthers think they are, but no. Sometimes you meet an exam board like the CCEA where they give you riddles. Like once they asked for a diagram that went against what you learn as the filter funnel wasn't mentioned. What? Was that English? I'm not sure.
Is this one of the things where when you go for they give you a problem to solve, but the thing is the problem that they gave you is wrong in itself because it's like a trick to see if you can work it out?
I don't fucking know. Take in a dumbbell, that'll show you're working out. Fuck you! I can't believe I fucking read that. Damn it. So sick, my maths isn't good, probably. I shoved an orange Crayola up my nose. I think I've damaged my brain. I mean, did you work it out, though? Show you're working out, and it's just this big snotty Crayola falls out. Yeah,
but Illuminous, you have dyslexia, so that is why your spelling is bad.
It's my birthday. Oh no, I forgot to send Sick all the whiskey. I can't believe you would fail to celebrate your birthday properly. That's terrible. You'll just have to give me money. Not that you aren't already giving me money. Hi Six, first stream I've caught live in about 5 weeks. Will we be seeing you tackle Terryology? Oh no, is that the Terrence Howard thing? That's got to be the Terrence Howard thing. I've considered it. I haven't found a video that is appropriate. It'd be brilliant if he just, I'll explain my brilliant idea in 5 minutes. That'd be fucking perfect. Maybe in 10 minutes, I could probably still make a video out of it. But all he does is he goes on people's fucking streams and just prattles on about absolute bollocks for hours and hours on end. And there's like 3 bits of it that are worthwhile, like, taking a dig at. Yeah. There's a reason, like, people will send me streams from idiots. And I'm like, what are you expecting me to do with this? It's fucking 4 hours long. I don't know why I said fucking. It's fucking 4 hours long. I'm not even gonna watch all of this, let alone try to respond to it. I have shit to do. My time is finite. Streams effectively are not. Always hated word problems, and my degree is CIS, which is mostly math. Is it, how many of them were, Alice has 7 oranges? I don't think there's a person alive who likes those.
No, I never liked those.
Although I like the one where they just look ridiculous. John has 517 pies.
Why? I always end up getting caught up on details which didn't matter.
Basic arithmetic as rote memorization causes serious problems in higher maths. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even learn it as rote. That's the bit I found I had difficulty with, was the rote memorization. And I just taught my brain to do it automatically. And then it became much easier. I was one of those, the smart kids in early school, who no one taught to learn. So when I got to big school, everything was really difficult because I hadn't learned to fucking, revise and shit. No one taught me. I just did well in exams and stuff because, simple facts and simple explanations go into a brain really easily, but the more complicated stuff requires you to, know how to do that shit. And I never learned that. So I'm trying to teach our kids to do that properly, kind of almost ignoring, the basic, they're going to get the basic shit because it's basic. It's not that hard. But the skills to have an education are a lot more difficult. Math, the only place where someone buys 60 watermelons and no one asks, pourquoi?
Yeah, those basic, why is somebody buying so many vegetables? And I always got caught up on things like that.
Those are going to go out of date. We can't have fruit in this house for... Mrs. Sick always wants to buy fruit. And I
like fruit.
I know you like fruit, and it's a fair point, and it's a good idea, except for the fact that I don't think a single portion of fruit has ever lasted long enough to have the whole thing eaten. Because they just go off immediately.
Well, one of your problems is because you order online, and they just give you things that are on the day.
You have legs. The shops are over there. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm very well aware, and I often
and even those go off.
Yeah, but at least they last 3 days instead of 1 day.
An extra day. I used to ace the tests, but class was difficult. Ew, people. For me, what do they call it? Fuck.
What?
The one where you had to do big coursework. There you go. Coursework. I was always bad at that as well.
I preferred coursework.
Yeah. Falcon bananas. But yeah, basically, normal education never functioned particularly well for me. And then once I started learning on my own, I learned at a fucking exemplary rate. It can work, and I think it's working a lot better as they figure out, some people aren't exactly the same as everyone else and need help to learn. Our kids are going to get a decent amount of help to learn, so that's going to be awesome. We're waiting for them to move into big school and to see how that's going to play out. So yeah, everyone was good at times table at my schools, mainly because it was all above the blackboard. Oh, all these kids know all of them. I wonder how. And the teacher never moved beyond the front of the classroom, so they just didn't have the peripheral vision to see that everyone was cheating. That's fantastic.
I remember that. We were all told to face backwards in the classroom because they couldn't be bothered taking the posters down.
And then you just get those glasses that have like a little mirror in the corner.
It's super reflective.
Or what did you do over the summer break essay? I played video games. The only one of those I ever remember doing was when I beat Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy. That game was fucking sick. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done at the time. UMS is the best thing in tests because it can save you in A levels, but in A2 level, it can screw you over for being a student who does the bare minimum. I mean, I guess just not doing the bare minimum might help. Mohammed has 5 oranges. Yeah, cool, but why is... Oh, fuck's sake. The paint is the yummiest part. Are we talking about fruit? Because I thought the stickers was the best bit. During tests, my teacher taped sheets of paper over the TV screen to make sure nobody was using the reflection to cheat. Smart! And then they didn't notice that everybody had just reams and reams of paper falling out of their pockets with all the answers on. That's one of the worst ones. When you get cheat sheets for all the answers, and then you have to learn all the answers. I don't think I could do that. It's like, you could buy this thing. It's got all the answers to the quiz. You'll have to remember them. I'm like, nah. I'm not going to fucking remember that. Saying a liar won a debate is like saying a player who cheated won a game. Okay. Thank you. To be fair, you can be a liar and win a debate, and that's still technically fair, because debating isn't testing a skill on truthfulness. Debating tests a skill on your ability to be convincing. So, no, I don't think that's actually the same. It doesn't prove who was right. That's what I'll tell you. That's what I'll give you. A-level maths starts to just make up math stuff like logarithms and all. Yes, I'm sure. You're not sending the little six to the coal mines. They've shut them down, unfortunately.
Off the mines.
Off the mines. They're busy in the furnace room. We don't even have a furnace room. It's really annoying. We only live in a small flat.
I'm the furnace room. Because I'm always
Remember
warm.
the magazines with cheat codes for games? Those long, crazy codes you used and get God mode. I remember the ones that had the longest cheat code I ever remember. It was an action replay code, which if you don't know, it was a device that you would jam into the back of your console, and you could actually put code into it. You could program into a game effectively. And it was the naked Lara Croft cheats, which I never bothered to do because I just was never that horny for pixels. Lara Croft was like fine. No, not in a she was fine way. She was okay. But yeah, like those cheat codes were so long that even if I wanted to bang her, I just don't think I could be asked. We are talking like full pages of nothing but like 1 to 0 and all the alphabet that you just write in random gibberish forever and ever and ever. And it was just like, no, I couldn't even as a horny teenager, just not worth the fucking effort. I've got an imagination. It's way better. Long story short, my son at 13, home educated, went to college with 18-year-olds swearing and sexual innuendos. His response, okay. Which Lara Croft, though? She's not called Laura Croft. Right.
It's Lara.
Right. Any Americans who play video games, this is a fucking PSA that you all need to know. It annoys the piss out of me. It annoys Mrs. Sick not quite as much, but it does annoy her. So this is fair. Lara spells Lara. It does not spell Laura. You spelt it Laura. Laura. Not the same fucking name. She's called Lara.
I love how you're going on about this when you did a spelling mistake earlier.
I don't get. This isn't a spelling mistake. It's her fucking name. It is said out loud by many people multiple times, and Americans constantly call her Laura, and it makes me want to pull my own head off. I didn't know it was such a pet hate until that person wrote it in front of me. Sorry. I'm not sorry, but sorry. Castlevania 3 save codes were all little pictures. Pain in the ass to record. Yeah, anything that is some form of being clever when it comes to an important feature of your game that makes it harder to use is not clever. It's fucking annoying. Don't do it. I do remember it's Lara because Lara is weird. Exactly, no one's called Lara. Sir Seek is annoyed. Sir Seek, you fucking dick. Playing old games that had nudity feels odd. Yeah, it's never that, like, impressive. Good news, Giannis has arrived. Everyone, quick. Say cool. But yeah, nudity in any old game, like, especially, like, if you go 16-bit, there's very little sexy about pixel art. Not, at least, it's sexy in, like, that looks fucking awesome kind of way, but I don't think I could ever spoof to it. I have this random game in my wish list on Steam because I just found it fascinating, and I just want to check in on it every now and again to see what people say about it and whether it's, like, doing well. It's called Erico, and it's a Metroidvania platformer, but when enemies kill you, they fuck you, and it's just so weird that it's deeply fascinating. I know there's way more of these kinds of games, but it was the first one I ever saw, so I was just like, I'm going to keep an eye on this. Do people like this? Do people want more? Is it a good game? This is something that worries me, because I will never, I don't think I could bring myself to purchase and play something that is explicitly a porno game, even if it turned out to be really good. Like, I can't do it. You could basically...
The closest thing you kind of got to it was with Yakuza.
Yakuza has a subsection in it that is fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I only ever do it, like, once, so I get the achievement. And then I can never bring myself to do it again, and I can't get the, like, further achievements, because you've got to try everything in those games because there's so much to fucking do. And so my favorite one of those was the one where you had to furiously type out, like, sexy boobies, mostly because that was so funny. It's this picture of Kazuma Kiryu, a man known as the Dragon of Dojima, pretty much the hardest person in any universe. Harder than 1,000 coffin nails. This man could punch through the universe if he was pissed off enough. And he sat there typing on a fucking porno site. It's so funny. I think that's a big part of the point. Another one of the games had you, like, calling people, and it had this ridiculous animation, and that's what made that one fun. Like, he'd pick up the phone and he'd swing the cable around, and it was so over the top. That's
the hardest person indeed.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he could punch through your soul easily. Kazuma Kiryu versus the Hulk. I'd put my money on Kazuma Kiryu. Especially if the eyebrows were on fire. Because I mean, they don't go on fire in the games, but I could see that in the
Depends if he's got his shirt on or off.
Yeah, that's true. If he pulls his shirt off, you're fucked. You are so fucked. He's fought people who are, like, Hulk shaped, and people who are really good at that game absolutely make a joke of them. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Like Cyberpunk, it has a few things, but it's more a GTA type game. I guess my point is that the pornography has to be the point of the game, rather than it being this weird thing that you see sometimes. Like when you're making your character in Cyberpunk, and you give them whatever genitals, and it's like, oh, that's a penis. There's some tits, etc. It's like, oh, okay, that happened. And then the rest of the game happens, and it basically doesn't come up again. So it's a little bit weird, really. But this one that I'm talking about is explicitly a porno game. I don't mind there being porny stuff in it. I mind that it is like the fucking the trailer for it demonstrates what it is. Cecil, I am disappointed that you don't live in a castle. You're disappointed. Fucking hell. I wish I had the money to live in a castle. That'd be amazing.
I would not want to live in a castle. It'd be so cold.
I've only played Yakuza 0. Haven't beaten it yet. Why not? It's fucking amazing. The ending is just... It goes places. That game made me, like, literally weepy at points. I've played through the whole fucking lot of them now, except for Dead Souls, because you just can't fucking get it anywhere. The Hulk in a Deadpool costume, enough said. He still wouldn't beat Kazuma Kiryu. That's a fact, backed up by science. I recommend House Party by Eek Games. Very sexy, but also incredibly funny. This sounds like more of a you have your games like fucking... What's that one we always play with our mates? That we play, you put it on the TV and then you use your phones. Jackbox. That's pretty good. Not particularly porny, obviously, but
you can make it porny.
You could make it as you can make it a lot of things. The castle, it's right there on the screen. That's fair. I remember a vertical space shooter game on the C64. And the end game screen is literally the damsel you rescue taking your top off. It was so random.
I wouldn't want to live in the castle. It would be cold. Well said, sat on the moon. Apparently the moon was warm, so...
The moon is definitely warmer than a castle. That's a fact. What was the fighting game where the women were basically wearing bikinis? You're probably talking about Dead or Alive. And to be fair, I have played quite a lot of Dead or Alive. But it's a really good fighting game. But you don't see nipples and shit. So it's sexualized, but it's not porn.
The thing that fascinated me about that one is like the characters are literally standing still, but their boobs are still going.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's so weird.
There's just a lady talking there with her arms folded and their tits are like smacking her in the bottom of the jaw. It's like, what is going on? Is it just windy inside? I don't understand. There was also the Dead or Alive thing, especially on the PlayStation. Apparently, one of the guys worked a whole year to get the boob jiggle physics right. And I don't believe that's true for a second as an adult. As a child, I thought, fucking hell, that guy's really, really into tits. I mean, maybe it's true. I feel like it doesn't need that much work. It go up, it go down. Sometimes it goes slightly side to side. In our house, games fall into specific genre. Games you can play when the kids are in the room. Games you can't play when the kids are in the room. Horror, violence, the kids won't stop talking. Oh, are you saying that if you play games that have atmosphere in them, the kids aren't allowed because they'll fuck it up? They'll come and go, oh, there's a big scary monster there, Daddy. And you're like, shut up. I can see it. My kids are the same. Oh, my God. I'll be playing a game and they'll tell me something on the screen. And I'm like, oh, it is so hard not to mock you right now.
Is it one of them backseat games you a lot as well?
Yes. Oh, have you tried that? Try that, Daddy. Try this. So have you tried shutting up? I love my kids, but when we're gaming, they can be very annoying. I sometimes play this game called Real Life TM. It has great pornography, but that doesn't quite make up for how bad the gameplay is and limited the character options are. Changing it costs so much in-game cash as well. Almost to the point where they're trying to scam you, I swear. Physics of the boob jiggle can be intense. I think the one it might have been in The Dead or Alive or something else, that the older the age you entered, the more the jiggle physics functioned. So everyone would set their age to 99 and the tits would like go from like knee height to head height. It was ridiculous. But yeah, my entire point of this discussion about games that are pornography, and I'm upset that there might be good ones out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if your selling point is look at the titties, and I mean look at the titties with nips out and maybe some fuck, is that you're probably not that focused on making a good game. I doubt. Not that it's impossible that any of them could be good. But yeah, does anyone remember the Oddworld games? I loved the Oddworld games, at least 1 and 2. I've not really played any of the newer ones, but I think it's because I just don't have the fucking patience anymore. Those games were very difficult, requiring shitload of... Yeah. Speaking of getting fucked in games, how about that Consort Radam? Oh, I killed the shit out of him days ago. I take it you've finally gotten there. He is fucking wild. But I ended up helping a bunch of people fight him, and eventually I just got good enough that I managed to beat him essentially on my own. Because basically I tried to summon someone, went in, summon didn't work, and I ended up fighting on my own. So, you know, it is what it is. I will say, though, shields are very good for that fight. If you don't use shields, go and get one. It makes the entire DLC way easier. Age 99. Ridiculous, but accurate. I mean, it's not supposed to say that they're 99. Nothing else changes about them. They don't suddenly become incredibly old. Subverse is porn-based and very fun. It's also well written. Is it subversive in that it's porn-based but good? Except for old God of War. See, again, I think you're missing my point. Old God of War has tits in it. Nobody bought God of War for the tits. You bought it because you play Angry Man who pull people in half. Because that was fucking awesome. Especially in the first one. Jesus Christ. The first one was a revelation. Especially when you figured out that it was basically Devil May Cry, only less emo as fuck. And don't get me wrong, I love Dante. I would fuck the shit out of that man. But he is a bit much. And I loved Devil May Cry 5. That was as someone who's played all the Devil May Cry games up until that point, the proper ones, not DMC. That's not a proper game. That game was, it was fine, but it wasn't a good Devil May Cry game. It was just its own thing. We had How to Be a Complete Bastard on the Amstrad when we were kids. Most, but not all, of the jokes went over our heads. That's cute. I'd kind of be interested to see that now. And whether the jokes would like, oh, I get it. Because the thing, yeah. Third person games suck though. That is a weird statement. It depends on the game and how you like to play it. Like, I wouldn't want to play Devil May Cry in first person. That'd be fucking awful. That'd be like the worst game ever. Way worse than it being third person.
It'd just be constantly spinning and you wouldn't know what's going on.
If you also want one of my pet hates, it's people calling games like Fortnite FPS. A phrase that means first person shooter. Fortnite is not an FPS by any definition. My God, it's a shooter. You could call it a shooter. I'd be fine with that. It's not an FPS. Anybody who calls it that should be set on fire. Helldivers couldn't work in first person. I imagine. I kind of want to play Helldivers, but I don't have any of those friends that people talk about, and I don't want to play with fucking strangers. And don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to play with no one. People occasionally people will just like message me on platforms because they find me on PSN or Xbox Live or the Steam one, and they go, "Oh, do you want to play games with me?" And I'm like, "No." "Oh, but I'm really good at games." I was like, "That's even a worse reason for me to play games with you." I still listen to Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry. It is a pretty banging tune. But yeah, like the end of that game, the way it works out at the end is just fucking sick. It's like such a love letter to people who've played those games. RE4 is one of the best third-person games. I've been meaning to play the remake of that because I never beat Resident Evil 4 originally. Because I got up to the point, you go over like a bridge and it's full of those assholes with the big claws. And this was when I was a baby gamer. And I found those so hard to kill that I just walked in, there was like 2 or 3 of them. And I'm like, fuck this game. I am not even going to try to beat those. Not knowing that if I'd have just lost repeatedly, because I'm one of those people as well, that I will survive like way longer in a game than I should. I hate the tutorial stuff in games because every single fucking time those games put me on a higher level than I'm going to have fun at, and the game just stresses me the fuck out. I want a medium. I'm not saying medium difficulty. I want to play the game and not have to like have all my reactions. But then again, I really love the Dark Souls and Elden Ring games, so I don't know. But I guess they're balanced better. They're just made for a specific difficulty, and that's what makes the difference, eh? Gears of War 3 was epic third person. The chainsaw was amazing. I remember when those came out, and I got the special edition with the art book. I remember when that game used to look amazing, and now I look at it and go, oh my god, what was wrong with my eyes? I love that about most games. Like when you move into the next gen and you get that first really pretty game, and you think, oh, nothing will look better than this. I have learned that will never ever be true ever again. Mrs. Sick just leant back if you wondered what that noise was. She did not do a big long weird fart. The remake adds too many junky items to it. It makes it look great and all, but makes some changes that bloat the game and mess the story, as they did with RE2 and RE3 remakes. The thing is, the RE2 and 3 remakes are so different that they deserve to exist in that sense. The RE4 remake is kind of dumb because it is basically already that game. The great thing about Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 is that you can now go to GOG and you can buy the first 3 games as decent re-releases, and you just have those games now. I've been meaning to pick them up when they go on sale as a whole set, because I love Resident Evil 2 and I really like Resident Evil 3. The original Resident Evil 3 is one of my favorite horror games because it just spoke to me. And I'm someone who tends to like get really weird about horror games. I stress out quite a lot when something is kind of scary and difficult. I find it very difficult to play, even though I'm generally quite okay at games. Will Miss Seek ever make another Why It's Stupid? Probably not. She has another project that she's working on. And frankly, anything that isn't on my channel is probably going to be better. If you don't know what that is, Spoon Stuff Stories. There's a reason there's a little guy hiding in the castle. I've been through that graphic thing from Atari until today's Xbox. Are you saying that you keep doing it? I tell you what though, no game will ever look better than Doom. Doom just is the perfect looking game. Absolutely. Can't convince me otherwise. I absolutely love the original Doom. And people who say that it's like, oh yeah, it's not that fun unless you mod it. No, it's well fun. I played it with the kids on, we have an Xbox, and you can do 4-player split screen. And it was tremendous fun. And these kids these days, you know, they've grown up with much better games, much newer games than Doom. And they had a great time. They did not find... So Doom 1, there is a section in the second level, I think, where all the lights are flickering. And, yeah, you have to go in and search around, and it's very dark with flickery lights. As a kid, that section scared the living shit out of me. I found that so stressful. It's a subsection that you don't even have to go through. But then I took my kids in and I'll go in first. And they just went straight in, started walking around, killing things. I'm like, why aren't you scared? How dare you not find this very sort of basic looking game not absolutely fucking terrifying? Unbelievable. Medieval. Oh, where you play as Sir Daniel Fortescue on the PlayStation 1. Absolute banger of a game. They've tried to re-release it about a dozen times. And it's, I don't know, it never seems to catch on. I've been meaning to buy the PS4 version and give that a go. Agreed, Doom is perfect alone. But I do have a special place in my heart for the Simpsons mod. That does sound fucking amazing. And don't get me wrong, Brutal Doom is tremendous fun. Brutal Doom that basically turns it into a more extreme version of the new ones is fucking sick. So sick, professional sissy. I never said that I wasn't a wuss. My wife hated it. Your wife hated what? Should I ignore the voices in my head? It depends whether or not they're coming through your ears. I mean, hearing voices in your head is one thing. If you want to sound crazy, tell people you hear voices in your knees. I'm just playing Total War Warhammer, which is just about the worst name for anything ever. It should have always been called Total Warhammer. Absolutely stupid name. The Alien mod for Doom scared the crap out of me. I remember Alien vs Predator coming out, and that game used to scare the piss out of me as well. At least when you played as the humans. When you played as everything else, it was a fucking blast. PS4 Medieval was a disappointment. I can only imagine. How you doing, Mr. Sick? I see you leaning back there. Are you dying?
I'm fine. This has got nothing to talk about.
Oh, because we're talking about video games. We've been playing Elden Ring co-op mod together. It's actually been pretty great.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just you're jumping from topic to topic to topic. So
as far as I'm aware, we're staying in the same topic.
No, like the different games
over and over again, yeah.
Yeah, so and a lot of them I have no idea what you're talking about, so it's not like I can be involved in this conversation.
I want to play War Hamster. Well, what's your favourite game?
You know what my favourite game is?
Sometimes, and then I ask you again and it changes. So, what is currently your favourite game? I mean, what aside from what we play together, what do you play most?
No Man's Sky at the moment.
I know you play a lot of No Man's Sky. She was playing
Medieval Dynasty.
Starfield today.
Well, it's only because like I paid. Well, you paid for it, and I just like it's sitting there in my library staring
Doesn't
at me.
Doesn't it have the mod thing now?
Yeah, it does, but you have to like set it up, and I
you
can't
have to sign in.
It's not just that. There's like other things you have to do to set it up, and I can't be bothered. And it's not as exciting as the other Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a little bit more.
A little less shit.
Yeah.
It is unfortunately abysmal.
When I'm playing it as like I'm trying not to have any expectations when playing it, and even a lot of the dialogue is kind of just.
I know originally the worst part of Starfield for you is just how obsessed that game is with making you stare people down.
Well,
like way worse than other games for some reason. You try and look away and it would be like,
yeah, I just read the subtitles now.
Drag the camera
I
back.
don't look at the faces at all. They just dead stare at it. I can't handle it. So I just looked at the bottom of the screen.
Sean Murray said there might be a galaxy reset in No Man's Sky today. How dare he? Yeah, I liked No Man's Sky. I liked it when it first came out, and then it got really boring really fast, and I ended up refunding it. And then I came back when it was half the price, got it again, and it was like a little bit better. I was like, okay, they're actually making this better. And the fucking leaps and bounds that game has come on now is really good. The Suffering was a great game. I'm assuming that's some sort of horror game. There was a time when people on this channel used to buy me video games that were scary games in order to get me to play it, because I am such a pussy. I don't know. Yeah, like I'm not. I don't do game streaming anymore because it's like, it's work. It's like physically demanding. And that's why the shorter 1 hour streams just became sort of normalized. But that was kind of fun. in a fucking awful way. People making me do things just because it amused them and terrified me. RE is supposed to be scary. RE is a horror franchise. I don't think that they're particularly scary. I thought that Resident Evil 4 was difficult, but again, I had the problem where I would do anything not to die, which made the game continually more difficult than it probably should have been for me, because I was completely unaware it had adaptive difficulty. Poop. Also, someone just farted. Was it a big one? My favourite kinds of farts are the ones that, like, 10 minutes later you're like, oh, that was like a really good fart. Just the satisfying. Why? You know you can't smell poop. You know you can't smell farts through the internet, right? And so far, nobody has made the technology to allow you to smell other people's farts.
I'm also hoping that Elder Scrolls 6 is good.
Yeah, we would like it. It was back in the day, fucking Bethesda. They made Bethesda games and they were amazing. But since CG Projekt Red have rolled in, Witcher 3 was just a better experience. And Cyberpunk, once they pulled their shit together, became just a really good comparison to, like, it beats the snot out of Starfield.
I think one of my problems is a lot of the quests in Starfield are just they're kind of blank. They feel unfinished. Like, there was one where you had to, like, go talk between two doctors, and I was just like, oh, there's going to be, like, conflict between these two doctors, and it's like, no, it's fine, it was just a fetch quest. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You're waiting for the game to get, like, interesting, and it
yeah,
never
I
does.
want some sort of moral quandary or something, but no, I'm not getting any of that.
Apparently there's an Assassin's Guild in the game, and everyone was like, oh my god, fucking the Brotherhood of, what is it in the fucking Elder Scrolls game? The Brotherhood of Sithis or some shit. I can't remember what it's called. I figured you'd know. Anyway, the Dark Brotherhood, that's it. The Dark Brotherhood from Elder Scrolls. Amazing quest lines. The one in Oblivion is just top tier. The one in Skyrim was pretty okay. And so you're expecting something similar. And then it's just not. It's just not good at all. It's in fact incredibly fucking boring, apparently. And you just get some, like, signboards to go kill some random NPC, and it is, like, literally a random NPC that no one gives a fuck about. I think their issue is that they've desperately been trying to make this, like, everybody bait, and they need to stop doing that. You need to make games that certain people like. Again, I'm going to bring up Elden Ring. Like, fucking From Software know what games they're making. And even though they added, like, an open world to it that some people didn't like, but you could pretty much just fucking ignore, go straight to the legacy dungeons, and it was Dark Souls 4. Although it was actually kind of Dark Souls 4.5, since it was so fucking big. Elden Ring is lame. I mean, you might think that. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal game.
The architecture in it's really good.
It's my favourite game of the year it came out, easily.
I like to just
Played the shit out
I like
of
to
that
just stand and look at things and then turn around and then Sicker's just fucked off in that direction while I'm trying to appreciate all the hard work they put into making something.
Yeah, but I've already seen it.
Yeah, but you
and I also see things faster than you do.
Yeah, but you don't take in the details of things like I do.
I mean, you did notice the ears.
Yeah, like, that's really obvious, though.
The ears. Yeah, but I was focusing more on that dick. No ears down there. You can customize Torrent in the DLC. Can you? I know you can make him have like a fucking charge move, which isn't that interesting and definitely not good. I like breathing underwater. I wish I had the time to play Elden Ring, but supposedly having a busy life means I can't handle it. It depends. Like Baldur's Gate 3 is a game I'm playing at the moment, and that game is fucking enormous. But I basically play it 2 to 3 hours every single night because I play games to get Mrs. Sick to sleep if they have lots of talking in them. And that game has a lot of fucking talking in it. I've just gotten to the titular Baldur's Gate, and I've had one fight in 3 days. So, and just talking. I'm currently investigating the murder of some dickhead. And yeah, it's really fun, really big, unbelievably time consuming. But because of how I play it, I do get quite a lot of opportunity to play long games. We are thinking about, because we're now probably halfway through it, the concern is finding the next big game that has lots of talking in it. I love Elden Ring. 40 on Steam. You're being a dick now, Xerox. I hate it. It's great. I mean, I hate Elden Ring because it's awesome. That boss beat the shit out of me from the end of the DLC. I was asking if you can customize Torrent. That was the thing the game was missing for me. Oh, no, you can't. Not as far as I'm aware. You don't really need to customize Torrent. It's a cute idea, but, like, horse armor is a meme for a reason. Disco Elysium, it's all talk. No, you get to punch a guy in the face, like once.
You get to
it's a really satisfying punch in the face.
You get to poke dead body.
You get to poke dead body. You get to pull slimy shoe off same dead body. But you make sure you do it when no one looking.
You get to fail at flirting.
You have the best mate ever. I can't remember his name off the top of my head anymore. But the guy you walk around with everywhere. My God. I caught a bit of bro feelings towards him. Like his starting, it gets to a point where you start seeking his approval. And I didn't even mean to. I was like, yeah, but what would he like me to do? I don't want him to get mad at me again because he's such a bro. Because when he bros, he fucking bros. He goes. Yeah, really good game. It's really sad what happened to it because last sale, it was on for 90% off. That game is not a game that needs to sell for fucking pennies. I mean, everyone should buy it. I should have bought another copy. Then again, I don't know if it's... I think it just belongs to the the publisher of it now. So it's all kinds of fucked up. I don't know. Fantastic game, though. Kim. Oh, yeah. Everyone loves Lieutenant Kim. Lieutenant Kim's the best. But yeah, do you play Dragon Age games? I played a fair bit of Origins, but never beat it. I never played 2. I beat Inquisition because that was a sleepy game. That was a get Mrs. Sick to go to sleep game. Yeah. So yeah, I've played a fair bit of it, but I never beat it because I had other things. There is a very interesting game made from the Doom engine called Total Chaos. Somehow it looks very good. I mean, there's lots of Harry Kim. No way, wrong universe. Or do you mean Harry Kim? As in fucking Voyager. One of the few video games I really liked was Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is a very strange one. Because if it vibes with you, that's an incredible game. But it gets kind of weird. I've just realised Mrs. Sick was huffing now. Because I'm doing the thing again. This isn't my fault. It's their fault. Tell them off. What game were we talking about that you could talk about? What is your favourite old game? I know you like some old PC games. You were way into The Sims back in the day.
Yeah, that's because I like building things. I never actually played The Sims.
Age of Mythology. She knows all the cheats. Ask her.
I like Age of Mythology.
She knows all the cheats off by heart.
Because I always played as Egypt.
That's the... oh my God, I didn't even fucking think. a game called Age of Mythology. I don't know why, but in my brain it was just, oh, I guess because Zeus is on the front cover, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also other ones too.
Other ones too, yeah, but Zeus is like there, like in the middle, all lightning eyes.
Yeah.
That's one we can talk about. That's one I want more of. No, at least I want a good version of it on the PC. Deadly Premonition. If you haven't played it, oh my god, what a game. It's fucking awful, and it's one of the best games I've ever played. It's one of the most engaging experiences, especially once you kind of get into it. There are things that the main character of that game does that Mrs. Sick does without realizing it. Like, one of the things he does when he's thinking is he'll tap his shoulder, and Mrs. Sick does that now. I forget what his name is. I just remember Zach. Babes?
Huh?
Deadly Premonition main character name.
What? I'm zoning out. Because...
Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition.
Right. You just keep saying the same words at me.
Yeah, what is the main character's name?
I can't remember. I'm zoning out because this is just
too much.
It's making my brain melt.
Sorry. I keep a rusty trombone in my closet. Thank you so much. I mean, to be fair, the chat has been particularly all over the fucking place today.
No, so have you. This is why
this isn't my fault.
It's
I've
just
been
so much, and there's no one topic, so it's just driving me fucking mad.
I think the problem is I can keep up with them, and you can't.
I'm not very good at multitasking.
What game universe would you want to live in? One where everything was made out of pillows, except for food. No, wait, shit, I fucked up. I don't know.
None of them.
Most game universes are terrifying. Even the ones that seem okay will have something about them that's really fucked up. Francis York Morgan, thank you, Void. Egypt, everything is gold until upgrades. Go with Nephilis to get a super pharaoh, respawn your second one, and have 3 pharaohs in a priest phalanx to take down myth units like titans.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of words that I did not understand.
Age of Mythology.
Yeah, I've never played it. I want to live in the Factorio universe. Why? The Factorio universe is horrifying.
You really like Lame Pipe.
Like that, or Satisfactory. Like Satisfactory especially is so fucking despotic. Like,
no, that's wrong. I don't like that one.
I like the game, but I would not want to fucking live there
because of the spidery things.
Yeah, but we would just replace them with cat pictures.
Yeah,
it almost works except for the chittering.
I remember we were playing that, and you were like, "Oh God!" And you're like, "I'm so glad you can't see this. You can only see cats."
Someone says Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja.
That's the game world to live in. There's always fruit. Yeah, but if you're just walking around and you're trying to do stuff, fucking fruit constantly flying in front of your face, you're like, chop, chop, chop. You're trying to sleep, you get pelted with fucking melons. I feel like wouldn't be the best universe to live in. You'd have food, sure, but you'd eventually fucking die. Wii Sports Resort. That might be one that could be tolerable. There's food, although you might just get candles instead of food. There's space to explore. There's archery, which is really fun, and you would keep relatively fit, and you'd be living on an island paradise. That might be tolerable. There might be something that I'm not thinking of. Pilot Wings. Are we talking Pilot Wings 64, or the one on the 3DS? Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Minecraft doesn't seem awful.
Dude,
really?
There's like zombies that burst down your door.
I can't. There's like exploding shrub monsters that will literally blow your house up. Also, in my thing of worlds to live in, it has to be like on the default settings. Oh. Fruit Ninja has bombs though, exactly. So not only that, you'll be in bed and someone will fucking chuck a bomb at you. Yes, we know that Satisfactory has the arachnophobia mode.
Yeah, I had to use it.
I mean, the world is turning into GTA, but sadder. I mean, sadder, but sometimes just as funny. Anyway, it's been an hour, so I'm going to leave you because I don't have anything to do, but I just want to stop. I'll be honest, you people are driving me crazy. Love you really. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.